All right, y'all. So we're here to talk about an erotic visual novel that I played recently called, what is it called? My Intimate Love with the Demon King. And if you hadn't guessed by now, the Demon King is a super hot woman from another world. All right. So that's how it starts. Well, it starts with you're hanging out with your family. Everything's good. You're like, came home for a visit, and you're like, oh, let's go on a picnic. Yay, we're all loving family, and we're having a great time. This is so great. Yay. And at the picnic, everyone gets hit by like a semi-truck and they die except for you. And then by the time you get out of the hospital, you're like living alone and you're sad. And you're like, I'm going to kill myself. And then this like boobacious woman like shows up and she's like, stop, you must help me open the gate. And so then that becomes the girlfriend management game. There's going to be a series of these in a row because I downloaded a whole bunch from Fap Nation, which is, they had a lot more than Dick Games or... I feel like F95 is everything, but you got to like look for it. This was just like, I just kind of perused their completed files and it was a lot of Japanese stuff, which is good. Okay, so how does this game work? So there's a mana crystal that gains mana every turn, every day, and it gains like 6 mana, I think is what it said. I wasn't paying that much attention because it just does it. And then now and then it stops working and you can click on it to progress the story, or you can just not. It didn't seem like there was any time frame or anything. I kind of was just cruising through the game. With these girlfriend managers, as with Princess Maker, there can be like 45 endings. And I'm not going to sit here and play through this game and do every nuance thing or even look up a guide because I just want to get like a gist of it so I can recommend or not recommend this stuff. This one is like, it's not really a recommend. There's much better, like, if you're going for the girlfriend management game, you're here for like the erotica and kind of the gameplay. And the gameplay here is not very good. It's not bad per se. Like there's some that are just like unplayable. This one, it's more just like, it's pretty grindy. And it's like there's nothing's like that enjoyable to do, and you can go work, and then you can make money, and then you can go buy stuff, but you can also just like find stuff, and none of it seems to matter. And then there's like sex scenes that you can unlock, but none of them are like that good. And like she's well drawn anime type character, and then there's like a cat that you can like feed. I don't know if that went anywhere. Because, like I said, I was just kind of pushing through the game. So, like, eventually, I think it's like 2 or 3 times you got to, like, spend the time charging the crystal, and that leads to, like, a specific sex scene and intimate relationship. But after you do it, like, the 3rd time and it becomes 100%, the game, like, completely changes. And the scene completely changes. The game stays exactly the same. What happens is then you go to her original world where there was like the evil human hero who drove her out of her like kingdom, and so you go back and there's an extremely long story bit. So this, if you're looking for like a girlfriend manager with like much more story, the story was okay. Then this is going to be more to your liking. So the story is you go back, there's like this hero, you like bang her out or something to defeat her, it seemed. But she still hangs out, and then periodically you'll get like stuff from her perspective, and she like gets railed by some of her guards or something. I didn't understand that part at all. But you like are now. So then if you're in the demon, you're like now the what do you call it? The royal consort to the demon king, who's really a hot babe. So she's a queen, but it's Japanese, so they interchange those. They don't have like as much gender language in that regard as we do here. So you see this all the time. Like the demon king is the king, right? And the queen is like secondary. So you're essentially the queen. Anyway, so you can do to bang her out. She's got like a sister you can talk to who'll give you like chores. So that's like your new job. So you can earn money to go buy like treats for her to get her like affection and love and stuff up. And I would do that periodically. And then you're just doing stuff. And again, you have like the crystal is doing the same thing. It charges and then stops. And once it gets fully charged, that's the end of the game. And I got like the second ending, which is like, not the good ending, but like not a bad ending. You just kind of like you stay in the demon king's as a consort, and then you just kind of, the ending was kind of confusing because it showed a picture of you with her and you were dressed in like commoner clothes and you were just like traveling around in like a cart, like Spice and Wolf style thing. But it was like, you got not the best ending. And I like went back and played it again because like, did I just like hit control or hit enter too fast when I was like reading through this thing? Because sometimes I want to hold control because I want to read it, but I'm like, I'll read fast or like I'll get like the skim of what's going on. Because a lot of times it'll just be like nonsense talk. I ain't got no time for that shit. And the game's not that good where I want to like read all the character interactions. And that's part of it. You get this a lot with the Japanese games, these erotic games, because they're not always like super translated well. And so like, I'm sure the story's more interesting if I was fluent in Japanese and I read it. But in English, it's kind of like you're missing out on a lot of stuff, I feel. Because it's just kind of like, eh. Anyway, so the Demon King, So yeah, and then so that was my ending. It was fine. And that's the game. There's not a lot to it. Is kind of the issue. Some games have like way too much stuff going on, and it's like hard to keep track of everything or like understand all the nuances. Or even sometimes it's just like there seems like a lot of stuff, but there's really just like a couple options. So the balance between these Princess Maker games, the erotic Princess Maker games, right? The managerial like girlfriend games, it's really, I feel like you don't really get that. The balance is really hard to strike. I feel like Kaiju Princess is like the premier, and even the Happiness Double Room or whatever, it was decent at it. But just thinking, I might need to play it again after I played all these. There's like a new Kaiju Princess game that's going to wrap this up when I get to it. But that's the gist of my playing through all these. Like I played through like 7 or 8 of these at this point, or 10, maybe even more. And really, it comes down to like the key thing that breaks these or makes them not as good is like the balance of like erotica to like grindy stuff to like secrets to like finding stuff to like doing all this stuff. Like when like Princess Maker, specifically I think 3 is the one I really enjoyed. What's so good is that it strikes a fine balance between like, all right, we're having her do this and do that. There's another erotic manga I played like years ago, one of these old ones like Season Sakura and or Three Sisters Story kind of era, where it did a really good job of like, okay, you're doing, maybe it was Season Sakura actually, where you have to like get stats up and you do this and that, and you get some of this in you kind of get slices of this in some more modern games. Like I'm thinking of Living with Temptation, which I really enjoy, where there's like aspects of this. It doesn't like full dive into it, but essentially you kind of like, you have all these different tasks and different things, and then you're trying to work on one or more girls, and you get different endings dependent on it. So anyway, that's like really the closest Western thing I can think of that's not like Chinese, Korean, or Japanese. It's Living with Temptation. It comes the closest to this. Anyway, but yeah, with this one, it's not like a not recommend, but there's so many other better ones that do the same things, only better, and are less kind of grindy and make more sense when I'm doing them. Like I do things and I see like a visual representation because they have a number, or it's like I understand like what I'm shooting for, that make it so much better. That's really like the confusion about like, okay, what am I doing? Is it doing anything? Is it, because it's one thing for me to be like, I don't know what I need to get my stats up to get like what I want, but to just have like no idea like what things even mean or how they translate to anything is really where the frustration comes with these games. Because it's like, I don't know if I should continue leveling the stat up because I don't know if actually it's doing anything at a certain point. Because oftentimes it's not like, hey, you max the stat. I love when it does that because it's like, you don't need to put any more effort into this. But it's like, a couple of times I've been able to like look up guides later, or I've seen something and it's like, oh, the most you want to get the stat up to is like 100. And I'm like at like 600. And it's like, I'm wasting my time like doing these things, not knowing that it's not going to do anything. All right, so it can be very frustrating. Anyway, so whatever, something Demon King, it's all right. It's like a 5, maybe even a 4. It's like a 4. Like 5's got to be like I would never go back to this to find other endings. Like I was like, when it was over, I was like, oh, thank goodness it's over. But it wasn't bad. Like I've quit out on some of these games because it's just like, no, I'm good. But there's really nothing there to stand this game out from any others in like the exact same genre to make it interesting. Like the scenes weren't that good. They weren't animated. Like the story was kind of like whatever, and it was just kind of, it wasn't fun to play. Like some of these can be like the sex scenes weren't that good or the animations are kind of funky, but it's like you get really into like the game side of it. But this had none of that. But yeah, there you go. Catch y'all later.